I arrived at the university in a chauffeur-driven car. The door opened before I reached for it. I stepped onto campus like it already belonged to me, as if these buildings were just another wing of my parents' estate. My name is Anita. I'm an only daughter. Hunger, failure, consequences. Those were things I learned about from other people's stories. Rent, tuition, tomorrow.
Infinity
Those
TV.
were never problems I had to solve. Comfort surrounded me so completely that, by the time I noticed it, it had already begun to feel like boredom. I wanted more attention, more power, more admiration than money alone could buy. At lectures, I sat in the front row, not because I loved the subject, but because I loved being seen. I learned quickly that influence didn't belong to the boys beside me, the ones juggling grades and part-time jobs. Influence belonged elsewhere, to older men with offices high above the city, men with watches that caught the light when they moved, men whose voices didn't rise, because they didn't need to. They told me I was mature for my age. I liked that phrase. It made everything feel justified. At first, it was just dinners, expensive restaurants, low lighting, laughter that lingered longer than it should, envelopes left behind, discreet, casual. I told myself it was harmless, that I was in control. My parents' wealth had taught me something early. Everything has a price.
Infinity TV.
I was just learning the market. But the higher I reached, the heavier the air became. The men grew more powerful and colder. Compliments turned into expectations. Gifts turned into leverage. I stopped counting money. I started counting secrets. Each relationship left something behind. Anxiety, distrust, the feeling that I was being watched. My grades slipped. I said they didn't matter. My friends stopped calling. I said they were jealous. Nights grew longer. Sleep grew shorter. My phone vibrated when it was silent. Cars slowed outside my apartment. Or maybe they always had. Every knock at the door felt like an accusation. I tried to buy my way back to peace. New clothes, new trips,
Infinity TV.
new faces. I laughed too loudly at nothing. I cried without knowing why. The girl who once felt powerful now felt hunted by her own thoughts. By my final year, I stopped going to class. I wandered the city at night, convinced that deals were still being made about me, that my name was still currency, even when I wasn't there. My parents brought doctors. The doctors brought words I didn't want to hear. Breakdown, delusion, exhaustion of the self. In the end,
Infinity TV.
I returned to my childhood home, not as the spoiled girl who once looked down on it, but as someone fragile. I sat by large windows, staring at nothing. The wealth was still there. So was the silence. I wanted more than money could offer, and in chasing it, I lost the one thing no one had ever paid me for, my peace.